Hello and welcome. It's finally time for me to open up set number 76218, which is this massive Doctor Strange set. So this set is taken from the Multiverse of Madness, and there's a lot of detail on the back of the box that we need to go through, which then also means there's a lot of detail within the set. So the set is fully modular, so we're going to rip open every single tier and every single layer. We're going to take a look at all the minifigures that are included within this set as well. There's a good few of them. There's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 different minifigures included within this set, and they do all have amazing print and artwork, so we'll have a good look at that. And I think there's some interchangeable bits and pieces on this set as well, where there's different windows in each tier, and I think you're going to be able to spin them around and then throw them in, but I've not tried that yet, so I'm going to try that with you for the first time. And then at the very end of the video, we'll take it up to the actual Lego room itself, and we'll just compare the scale to one or two of the other sets. Just take a look at the back of the box where all the detail is. Now it's on 132 by 32 base plate, so that's 26 centimeters or 10.2 inches. Height wise, it's 32 centimeters or 12.5 inches, so it is a chunky thing. Now there's lots of little detail and things that we need to have a look at with regards to these things just here. Now I think what we can do with these 3 bits is put them wherever we want to on the building. So the instruction manual tells you to put them in one place, but looking at the artwork on that, I think they might go in 3 different places, and I think you might be able to spin them in on themselves as well. So that's something we'll have a look at. Now you've got this feature as well, which we're going to take a good look at, where you can actually flip between the different rooms that they're going to go to, and then on the back of this you can see that that is actually facing inwards rather than outwards, and then you've got all those little bits and pieces. So we want to see how this works. Now moving up to the top, you can see that this set is fully modular, so we're going to strip it apart and have a good look at exactly what is what. Next up, sticker sheets and instruction booklets. Now this is a lot of stickers on here, and I did take a photo of these. There's lots and lots of those to go through, so that did take a little while to get them all stuck together, but we'll go over them in a sec. Now the nice thing about this set is that you can build it with 2 other people if you want to, because each of these is a completely different tier, then it all clips together at the very end. And I think instruction booklet number 1 is where all the detail is with regards to the set, and you meet the designer, so you've got all the different bits and pieces about the inside and what it can do, and you've got the nice little photos with the staircase and everything like that. And then over on this side it just shows you some detail, and then you've got the designer bits and pieces on there, and then a little bit more you can see all the artwork and things in the background, so you've got all the drawings. It's quite interesting to read up and just see how they came up with the concept and how they did everything. It's always interesting to see on those kind of things. And then again you've got lots and lots of detail like this, so you can see how you have all of these stickers on the back. You've got all the different medical degrees and all these little bits and pieces. There's lots and lots of hidden Easter eggs, and there's also lots of hidden bits with inside wall, so I'm actually going to have to strip this down quite a lot. And then it goes on to say prepare for the magic, and then you've gone. So first 4 bags, base. Next 4 bags is the next tier, as you can see just there. I think then the second instruction booklet, it just cracks on and then it goes straight in, which it does. So you've got 9, 10, 11 for the next tier, and then it's 12 and 13 for that. So that could be one human being making that up. And then on here you've got those 2, and then you've got the little bit of the roof. And the other nice little thing on the back of these booklets is that they are all completely different, and they are the 3 different bits and pieces that are included within the actual set itself. Right, time to move on to the set itself, and it does look extremely impressive all built up. So I'm going to have to try and strip this down tier by tier. But before I strip this down, we can have a good look at absolutely everything across the bottom with all the minifigures that I've literally just placed. I've just built them up and placed them. We'll have a better look at all of them. But you can see as it comes round, you have got all the bins. You've got Doctor Strange that's fallen over. And then on the back, you've got these things. And I think these are the things that are completely interchangeable. And you've got the one of Captain America just at the top, just in there. So I think that will rip out. And then on this side, coming around, I think this is also, you can actually make this completely flush. Or what I'm tempted of doing is spinning this in on itself, so it actually goes into the inside of the building. So it's a complete flat fascia on that side. It's completely flat on the back as well, so it does not overhang the studs, so you don't have to worry about anything overhanging, apart from maybe 1 or 2 pieces, which we'll go over after. And then all the detail is basically on this front corner. So there's lots and lots of bits and pieces, like I said, to go through, and we're going to start off with the top. Now I don't actually know how to do this, because I'm freehanding the camera, and at the same time this thing is massive. So what we're going to do is, I think I'm going to strip it completely apart first, and then we're going to go over it level by level. Right, it's all been stripped down, the minifigures have been moved, and we're going to start off, of all places, with this bin. Now on the inside of this thing just here, it has lots and lots of little bits and pieces. So if you want to think of what Easter eggs are in there, obviously the bottom one's the easiest, because that's where Thor is. And then you have got, I do believe, just a random can of something, and I think they are just spare Infinity Stones. There is one hidden within there somewhere, so we will hunt that down within the set as we go. But that's just a nice little touch. And now don't forget the Daily Bugle also has some little bits and pieces within it. Now as we come through, you've got this little keep out sign. That is another sticker that you've got up on there. And then on here there is an area that you can actually get into, and you've got this bit on top. So that is the next bit that we're going to take a look at. Now if I remember rightly, and if I can do it without breaking it, I know I'm stood inside the light, this bit actually removes completely. And then we have even more hidden detail. So let's see if we can just see it from the bottom first, so that way it can actually stay out of the lighting. If not, like I said, it's going to be quite difficult to do. So that I've just broken off. Let me push that back in, because that is where it connects the next modulars up. Then you've got this little box just on here. Now this thing here, you can see the book, and then you should be able to see the little stone. Now I think what I'm going to do is just do that. So there we go. So you can see that's the first bit of detail that you've got, and then up on there you've got the spells on the one side, and then on the other side you've got a lot of spells and everything on there. Now this wall is in and solid, so you can move it from that bit. That is actually an important feature. That chain does come off, you can open those up, and then you can get the book out. Now on the inside of the book it also has the a sticker and everything in there, so it's got all the dark magic spells, and I think obviously there just the Easter eggs of what's been thrown in the actual rubbish bin or the wastebasket. Now as we come through and down, there is all the detail here that is just hidden, so just a random thing to have. So you've got the keep out thing just in there. But what I want to do, I'm going to have to pull this out, is the fridge. Now if I pull this fridge out, yes, it is a weird thing to go on about, but like I said, it's crammed full of detail. And I didn't ever spoil this for myself. I had a quick look at the set, obviously I had a look at it in the box, and didn't want to spoil it for myself until it came into a very, very good price. Now this does strip down, so you can take that off. You can open up the doors. Now you've got the little sort of freezer block bit at the top. You've got the sticker at the front that says I Heart New York. And then on the inside, you have all of these bits and pieces. Again, it's just one big sticker, but you've got Iron Man, you've got Thor, sorry, you've got Hulk, Iron Man, and then you've got other little bits and pieces of all the stuff that is in there. Now I think that's just a little bit of an Easter egg to maybe the Spider-Man scene when they open it up when they're in the basement. So I'm assuming that's what that bit is supposed to be. So where we are within the keep out, that's maybe supposed to be the little dungeon that they've added in, because then on here, if I can rip this bit out, which I can, you then got the different bits and pieces with regards to the potions, the magic, and then you've got the phone and everything up top. So that is just a slightly different thing. I can't remember, we actually saw the basement in the Doctor Strange film, or we were just there for the Spider-Man one. So there's your two bits and pieces in here. That's what that looks like in there. If I can get out the way of the lighting, like I said, it's really difficult because it's brown on brown. Now where a lot more detail is as we carry on and coming through, that is again just another spare piece that I'm going to have to put back. You have got the lore times, and then each one of these has its own sticker on, and each one has its own thing on the front. So this just pops open as easily, let's go the camera, as so, and then on the front of it you have just got that, which looks really nice and effective. And each one of those, again, it's just stickers. I think they're stickers. Yeah, they are stickers, they're not prints. And then it does have the sticker on the side, so it says Lore Times, grab the latest, nice and easy. As we come round, this was a clever bit, because this bit, it actually slots in as the curve. That's how you make that curve, and then it just fills it in. So you did one day you were doing it how you were going to do it. Then you got the famous doors. Now obviously you can get some nice photos with these. Obviously it's a little bit battered already because I've moved it about, but the doors open up nicely, so you're going to get yourself some nice photos of everything that is on the inside just there. Now that what is on the inside, and a better look that's on the inside, is all of this. So again, this is really, really difficult to do. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm actually going to tip it and we're just going to hope for the best. So there's your staircase down the middle. That's the bit that I'm trying to get. So you've got that corner. So hopefully that's now coming through. That's the bit that we saw in the box. So you've got the seats and you've got the pictures. You can see that is the back of the grandfather clock. That is the doors leading out onto the main road. So that rubbish bin, the yellow thing, is actually the box. And then as we come around on this side, you can see you've got the world map. There is like a little globe down at the bottom, which is a really nice piece actually. It's printed on a minifigure head, and it does look very, very smart indeed. And then I think that is going to be all the detail that we're going to get from that bit. So if I then put you back down before I drop you and break you, we can then spin you back through, and then that's what that looks like from the front. So you've got, again, you've got the staircase coming through, and then that is the front of the clock just there. problem is I can't take this bit out, so that's why it's so difficult to see. But as we come onto this side, that might be a bit of a better look as we zoom in. So that gives you the understanding of just what you can do with regards to the photos and everything on there. So I think it does look very, very smart. And then with all these details and everything that's on the outside, I think it works really, really well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all of this back together, and then we're going to get the next tier. But before we do that, I completely forgot all of the detail that is on the top of this bit. Now this is the bit that I've ripped off. So you've got one secret stuff. You've got some travel guide just up on this bit. You then got that thing there, which is I'm not 100% sure what that's supposed to be. Then you've got the clock. So I'm not too sure if that is maybe an Easter egg to Loki, or if that's that's an X-ray, isn't it? So that's the X-ray from Doctor Strange. That's what that blue thing is, because it's got the hospital symbol in the top, very top left-hand corner. And then you have what is going to be a very, very crusty pizza, because that would have gone off a long, long time ago. So like I said, now I'll plonk that back, and then we will crack on. Moving on to the next level. So this one is all together, and you can see first thing we're going to have a look at is this eyeball. Now these are the bits that I think on the back of the box, even though the different shapes, they are interchangeable. And the first thing I want to try with this before we look at any of the detail is if I can push this out, so we can obviously have a better look at the detail in a second. Can I spin this round and just move all the tentacles and all those little bits and pieces and actually have this thing facing inwards? Because I think if you can do that, which by the looks of it, you can absolutely no problem. And if it works on the inside, he says, as he's going to have to tip it back over, that is what that looks like on the inside. So you can do that. So if you want a flush bit on the outside, you can, which works really, really well. So we'll take a better look at all the detail of this now on the inside, and then we'll carry on looking at the outside with all the stickers. So what I try and do now is pop this back out to make sure that's easy enough to remove. You just got to be careful that obviously you don't catch that or rip anything off. So that is just a removable panel. So yes, you can have that in or out. Now, this I do believe has something hidden somewhere. I want to say, before we really crack on, is behind here. There is something hidden, and I can't remember where it is. I've literally just double checked the instructions, and there is something hidden behind there, but you can see you actually block it in. Now, it's nothing special, but it's bugging me. So you're going to have to take all of this apart. He says trying to do it single-handed to then get access to this one piece just here. And then behind it, there you go. They have a cup. Bit of an anticlimax for you, but that is what is hidden behind there. Why that's there and what reference that has, not 100% sure, but it is definitely lost in there forever. So that is all you do. And then obviously you can then just plonk that back on, clip them back up, and then it will never ever be seen again. So maybe they were one brick short, or that is a proper Easter egg to something, and I'm a bit too tired, as always doing these videos, and too thick to figure it out myself. Now let's have a look around at the top. So you can see you have got all of the different bits and pieces from the films. Then there is a lot of detail coming through at the top just in there. So you can see you've got all the different bits and pieces with regards to just either menus, or you have got all the spells across the top. And then you have got all these other little bits and pieces. Now the lampshade's pretty cool. And then as you come through, you've got this door just here. Now this door is the bit. Can you even see it? So if I do that and get my arm out of the way, they move in there, look. So to move those, you have these bits on the back. And then what you can do is you then just basically pick and choose which one you want as a photo. The camera is a little bit too big for this, so it's not working too well. You don't want to know how I've got this set up now, but that is the door, and that's the bit that moves over. So you can see there, look, that's the easiest way to go. So you can have that one, or you can bring it back through, or you can then bring that one over, and then you can bring it back through. So you can pick and choose which area it is you want to see as a photo. And yes, that is a really, really nice library, and that is all the detail. That is the best way of me doing that. And then if I try and do that again over on this side, you can see that you've got, actually I can do it there, you've got all that detail just on the inside there. So you've got all of the nice chairs, and these bits on the side, I do believe these bricks you can actually use to put like your spiky bits out. You can have the figures just jumping around and doing whatever it is that you want to. Or I think that is actually supposed to be the Thor scene, the little Thor Easter egg, where he continuously drinks all the pints and stuff, and then you're walking around the library, I think, on this bit, or the museum shall I say, where you walk around all the artifacts. So even though Thor's not in there, I can't ever remember anybody else having a big beer like that never finished. I'm assuming that is what it's supposed to be. Now I have just noticed something on the box. I'm missing my fire hydrant. I haven't actually put the fire hydrant in, which is really annoying. So obviously I've missed the very, 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 very last step. So I will get that fixed before this video finishes. Now I think we have added in, I had a look at all of the detail that is on this level. So now what I'll do is I'll connect it to the next bit and then we'll go from there. But as always, I've missed something. Now these bits are the bits I'm talking about on the side of the wall. They're the places you can just add the minifigures onto, and then you've got options to move them if you want. And like I said, you do have these long prongs as well. Now, the only thing is with those long prongs is that if you do want the modulars side by side, they won't fit because the prong overhangs the base plate and it will hit. So I do like the fact that they've actually added in these where the minifigures won't go over the 32 by 32 base plate. So it does mean that you can have them in nice and tight. I'm sure there are more holes dotted around, so you can just have the option to fill these up with these little minifigure stands absolutely everywhere if you wanted to. So moving on to part 3 of 4. This is almost finished now, and you've got the little bit of detail with the roof, and we've got all the minifigures to go through. So this is the Captain America thing. So this is a bit that actually comes out. It's a big piece, so you just rip that out, and that is interchangeable. So potentially that will just interchange, for example, as he tries to grab it with this, and then that might just slot in on that bit, because it does fit. But the only thing is that you're going to have to do, actually, will it go in there? So yes, they do. They are completely interchangeable, so you can have that on different levels. You can do whatever you want, and obviously you can have that facing inwards or you can have that facing outwards. But for the level that this one is on, it kind of makes sense just to keep that there. But it also makes sense to keep it off, because now we can actually see something without me turning it over too much, because the green picks up on the camera. So you've got the umbrella up in that bit, then you've got all the helmets, and then you've got all these cabinets here. Now these cabinets here do have all these different bits and pieces in. So they have all sorts of bits and pieces, and they've got this thing on this side, so you've got whatever they are supposed to be. So if you know what all of that is, this is very much very, very detailed on here. And then you do have like a scroll on the inside, and then you've got all the different armour that is up at the top, which obviously we had a very, very good look at in the original Doctor Strange, where the cape chose him. So obviously the cape isn't here because he is wrapped around Doctor Strange's shoulders already within this film, but that is all the different bits and pieces, and I can't see looking underneath if you can get any more detail, but that is how you actually make up the tier, so it just all gets leveled up. It is sturdy enough. Now this bit here is actually made up for your prong, so you can actually have your long prong in there, and then you've got these bits on the outside if you just want to put the minifigures in there, or put those prongs in. You know, you can do whatever it is that you want to do, but there's lots and lots of different detail within this one, so there is actually quite a lot to soak in and take a look at. But like I said, if you wanted to, you can just add these pieces in nice and simply. And I do like the fact that they are all interchangeable, and they do have all the different levels in there, and then that is what that looks like just from there. You're not going to see anything extra from those, it is just too dark. Right, moving on to the very, very top. So the fourth and final stage is just this fin. Now what they have done is they have added in a teeny tiny little garden just up in here, so that is obviously where the zombie Strange is supposed to go, but you have got a lot of space to do whatever it is that you want to do and add in all of your own minifigures if required. You've got these little bits and pieces on either side, so they're either your chimneys there or you've got your chimneys there. I'm not 100% sure why there's 9 of them, but I would imagine maybe it's 3 per realm or whatever it is that they go through to, and then you've got that bit up at the top. Now they do clip together simply enough because, like I said, they are fully modular, so you do have to be careful with these bits, because obviously if you are pushing it from there, that is just going to ping off and go absolutely flying. But that bit just goes on there like so. You push that down completely, and then that is on, so that just rests onto that bit, clips on if I push it down hard enough, and then that is how that sits all nice and snug. So that is now, apart from me actually pushing it down, how that links in, so that looks nice and smart. Now I need to grab the other 2 levels and we'll quickly put them together. We're looking at the very, very base, and then I've got the next bit in my hand, and this is how simply this goes. So this, like I said, all fully modular. You've got the little tips that it just clips onto there, nice and simple. That is pushed down, and that is now sturdy, it's not going to fall apart, and then you can now just push it around and spin it around by that. So that is now solid and clipped on. You can see just what that looks like. Now we haven't tried this one, so I have to pull this one out. I'm assuming again just to make sure that this will then just go there for whatever random reason. So I guess if you wanted to look into here, to be fair, I might actually do that, because it might make more sense having that there. And I could have actually just put the camera through there, that's slightly annoying. So I could have just had that one there. The only thing is that if I did that, the issue that you're going to have is that this one will fit here, but it might overhang just by a little bit on the stud. So like I said, you won't really be able to clip the next building into it. So you could have like an eyeball walking down the alleyway if you wanted to, or you can just have that there, that there. Let me know in the comments below which way you've got yours and which way I should have it. I am going to make a zombie display with this with my Ghostbusters. So maybe this bit down the side hanging out would actually work really, really well, depending on what way it faces. Because if this is the back to the Ghostbuster bit, which I'm not thinking it might be, I'm not 100% sure if it goes that way. Yes, it will. Possibly. Anyway, different day, different problem. So that is what that looks like. And then the next tier that goes on is you're about to knock this off this world's smallest table. So that is both pieces. That then just comes straight up. That then just slots straight on. So like I said, I'm only doing this with one hand. So it is simple enough to put together. Let me just get you more comfortable. Grab onto that. And then that just pushes down. You've got to be careful. And that's it, done. So we are all back together. Like I said, you could pick and choose where you want to put those, which way you want it facing. You want it over the back of the alley. And you've got the pins on the back where the next modular will fit in that way, or you've got pins on the back where it will clip into another modular. So it's quite clever actually, because you can actually have this clipped up two completely different ways. So I'm going to experiment with this and just see what I can do up in my own display in a second. Like I said, we will compare this building with a lot of the other modulars in a sec. But now we're moving on to the minifigures. Right, moving on to the minifigures, it's lucky dip of what we're going to get. Starting off with the Spider-Man, because it is what it is. It's the first one I picked out. Now the print on this looks very, very smart. You've got all the black and the blue, and you do have nice arm print on this one as well. So you can see hopefully all the red shining through on his arm. And then on the back here, you've got all of the really, really deep blue, and then you've got the really nice red spider on that. And you have got all the print on the back of his head. So it does look very, very effective and very, very smart. Next one is this one. If you know who this one is, again, get him in, let me know. So as we come through, well, look at it. You've got really, really nice print on the front. You've got all of the effects on here. You've got the really, really nice face print. So you can see all of the grey. I've got my hands out the way for a second. Hopefully the light will pick it up. And then you've got the darker grey bits that he's holding. And then you've got the gold in with the blue. And then on the back, you've got the black with the blue and the grey, which I think does look very, very effective on this one. And he does stand up on his own hover bit, so that is a nice touch. But obviously you don't have to have them with all of their weapons and things like that. You can just have them however you want. The brick in the instruction manual, for some reason, this one goes up onto the roof, so you can have that one up on the roof. Right, Iron Man, Tony Stark himself. So I didn't have the helmet up on that one. I just put the hairpiece on just so you can actually see his face. Really, really nice body armour. So you can see all of the different bits and pieces. You've got the really nice silver that comes out, and the silver and gold actually shine really, really nicely. Some of the minifigures are picking up really nice with the colours. Some of them seem to be a little bit dark. I'm not too sure if I've got the lights turned up enough. On the back, again, you've got the really, really nice colours, so it all matches up. And then you've got the red. And then on his actual face, you have got the one for his helmet, because this is the one where it pings up for the helmet. Or then you've just got his normal I'm angry with his hairpiece. So that hairpiece should, he says, just clip on, but like I said, it is very, very stiff, and I'm doing this at a really weird angle. He can stand there bold for now, and then we'll move on to the next one. Right, Wanda's next. So here she is. That is her hairpiece. Now you have to have her looking forward. There's her evil eyeballs, and then you've got her normal eyes, and then you have to have her looking forward because the hair won't go around onto her shoulder. You've got all the red and the black on the torso. Again, looks nice. No arm printing, nothing on the legs, but you do have a lot of printing on the back. So this one is nice and detailed for this minifigure, so it works well. I think you're going to be able to get some nice photos with that one. Right, Zombie Strange. This one I do really like. So you can see they've got really nice print on the legs on this. You've got really nice print on the torso. In fact, you've got really nice print on the face. This might be one of the most detailed figures out of all of them, to be honest. On the back, there's no second face because he's a zombie. And then you've got all of the detail that is on the back with that one. So it does look nice. The blue works. All printing on the front, nothing on the back. This is obviously supposed to be up on the roof, but I'm going to have him either breaking in or out of my Ghostbusters display, I think. And then have a bit of a battle scene going on between those two. Then we have Wong. So here he is. You've got all of the armour that they use. They do come with all the weaponry, but like I said, you don't have to have them holding that. Then you just got his basic outfit with the blue and the gold up at the top. No print, and then on the back you've got the nice printing that goes all the way across the back. And then you've got the red and everything that goes over the shoulders. Nothing on as a secondary face. You've just got the individual one on that one. But again, I think that one does work. Now don't forget, I am just holding these onto the table, and so far they are standing up all right. Now one of them, which one is it? Is this figure here is super loose. He's got really loose legs, which is really unusual for a Lego figure. Usually they're much more stubborn than this. So I think this is the evil Strange, isn't it? So this is the one that will have, yes, his third eyeball between his forehead. But for some reason, I'm not too sure why, the arms are okay, but the leg is, this one especially, is really stiff. So I'm not too sure what's going on with that one, but printing looked really good. So you've got all the silver across the belt, you've got the gold across there, and then you've got the really nice print across the leg as well. So I think that one looks really smart. Again, as regards to the print, it is nice that all three Stranges are completely different with regards to print. So I put those two there so you can just see the difference between those two. As we move on to Doctor Strange himself, so that is what that looks like. You can see this one's got a lot more vibrant blue. This just pings off, so that's a nice little touch. So it just literally wraps over his shoulders. That's easy enough, he says, to get on and off. And you can see it does have two faces. So you've got the head on that one, and you've got the head on that one. You've got the silver in the hair, so that's nice and simple on both sides. But again, it does look really effective on this one. And this one also has a really loose leg. Again, on the front there, that's super loose. Don't know what's going on with these minifigures. They've obviously been battered at some point, so they'll be alright for what I need to do. But if you're trying to hold them in poses for whatever reason, you're going to do photos outside, I'm not too sure how you can stiffen those back up. But looks nice. Really do like the blue on this. No arm print on this one. Nice leg print on the front. And again, he's got his big blasty things that you can hold on to. And now with this cape, it does go on simply enough. Look, you just wrap it around his shoulders, and that is that. So I was just making a meal of that, how that goes on. Stands up, he says, stands up nice and simple. The cape has just pulled him over. And moving on to the last one. Like I said, it was just Lucky Dip. Nice green on this one. Looks really smart. I think this just has, oh no, it does have dual face. So you've got the dual face print on that one. There is a little bit of print underneath his cape, nothing too fancy, but again, it does look smart enough. And then on the front is where all the detail is. Now the hair on this does look very good. You've got all the locks and everything coming all the way well past his shoulders on there. But again, the only thing is with that you're not actually going to be able to turn the head to get any of the photos. So he's going to have to look forward only, or you take his hair off and then you spin his head to the side and then you give him a haircut so he can stand that way. Because if I try to do that now, I can't get the hair piece on. So you can bodge it if you want to, but it doesn't work greatest. So there are pros and cons with the longer hair pieces, especially if you want to get photos, but if you're just having them on display, it does not make a difference whatsoever. So now what we're going to do is we're going to have a quick look at what this set looks like up in the Lego room compared to all the other sets. Right, made it to the Lego room, no damages, and as I spoke about it enough, we are going to compare it with the Ghostbuster Firehouse to start with. So you can see just the size difference between the two, but also the problem. Now this is the issue. If you have that bit sticking out, which looks fantastic, don't get me wrong, you cannot have those two base plates kissing. However, if you were to spin it around as so, you can then just push it in. So if you wanted it lined up and you wanted to create a street, that is how you can have it at the front. You've then got your path down the side, you've then got the doors to the Doctor Strange just on there, and then the bit is sticking out the back end, and then that is then an alleyway down the side. So you can pick and choose how it is that you want to have it. Obviously, potentially the other way you can have it is just spin it all the way around. So you then have the eyeball facing, but then what you are going to have is you're going to end up with it looking like that. So there is sort of like an alleyway mixed in, and then you have got the sort of the portal bit onto the inside. So it's up to you how it is that you're going to have it, but I think the best way to display it, more than likely, is going to be either having this forward like that and then having it right at the end so it's overhanging something, or so you have it like that and it's this bit is overhanging, or you just take this bit off, you have it facing inwards like we've already discussed, and then that bit just touches in, and then you've got the side of the building there. But I do quite like the fact of maybe having the doors side on potentially, so let us know in the comments below. But this is all going to come in our disaster series, so keep your eyes peeled for that. because like I said, we are just in the process of putting all of these bits and pieces together. Now, the bank, that is what we're going to compare it to next, and look how flush it goes. See the difference when you've got something completely different? Now don't forget the Ghostbuster, it has a footpath all the way around, whereas this one, it's an L shape down that side. Then you've created your walkway, so that is where the Soaps and Suds finishes, that is where the Doctor Strange starts, then the Doctor Strange carries on to that corner. So you can have them with the modular buildings really nicely, but don't forget I've taken that bit out for that to happen. So if you want to have this bit and you want it looking like that and have it on a corner, you are going to have that bit just tucked in. Otherwise, you are going to be left with the gap just on there. Obviously, you can mix and match it up and do whatever it is you want to do. But I think with regards to scale, I think it does work very, very well next to all of the modulars. And obviously, this bank is just a generic sized modular. You have got the cinema you could put it beside, and you've got all of those across the top. And they are all there or thereabouts the same. So I think it does work very, very well if you do want to try and create a street and just have that right on the corner. So I think that does work nicely. The last thing we're going to compare it to obviously needs to be the newer Spider-Man set. Now there is an unboxing video available for this thing already, but at least me putting these side by side like this, you can see just how small this is compared to the actual standard modular. So this comes up halfway to your Doctor Strange set. So I'm sure loads of you have this set already. I know I'm very, very late to the party on this upload, but what this does have on the back of it, it does have a little bit of an Easter egg too there. So obviously you might be able to link this up nicely between the two sets, but I think they do work well hand in hand, and between them, they come with a serious minifigure selection as well. Yes, I did build the thing that I forgot to add in. It was right at the very, very end, which is this thing just here. Also, it was also a sticker, which I forgot to do, which is 177A Blanket Street. So that is now added on to that bit. That is actually where that goes there somewhere. And then you do have these hopper bits for all the minifigures to add in, which I think works really, really well. And also that's why I want to add it in with the Ghostbusters set, because they also have a lot of places for the minifigures to stand as well. But you can obviously just add more bits and pieces in. I think minifigure winner has to be the Zombie Strange for me. I think that is the better looking minifigure, so I'm looking forward to doing something with this. Keep your eyes peeled, like I said, for the Disaster series, because that is where we are currently putting together all of our Marvel and DC display, and it's all going to be tiled and everything like that. So guys, I think that is it. I am done. So if you can like this video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Let me know if you got this set. Let me know in the comments below what you think. You are thinking of getting it. I think it is in a monstrous sale at the moment in the UK. The price is nearly £70 cheaper than the Lego website at the moment. So, and it seems to be dropping down more and more, but it is still going to be available for the 2024 year, I do believe. So it is not being discontinued, but they have just added it into a massive sale. But as always, thank you very much for watching. You lot take care, and I'll catch you next one. Ta-da.